Hey there, we're Talia and Ophira Edut, identical twins and astrologers. Welcome to AstroTwins Radio, where we bring the stars down to Earth.
Hello, everyone. It's December 9th through 16th, the weekly pod, and this is Ophi doing it this time. You've been hanging out with Talia a lot. I'm popping in, and yeah, there's so much to talk about. I mean, last week we had Mercury retrograde, which we've had since November 25th. Mars turned retrograde, both in fire signs, and Neptune went out of retrograde on December 7th. So the dance of the planets when they're what's called stationing can really stir a lot up, as if an election and a holiday season weren't enough to do that, and the major transit of Pluto. So we're going to talk about the Gemini full moon, this week's Venus-Mars opposition. Our love planets are opposite each other, and yes, they are at odds when that happens typically. And then we've got the end of Mercury retrograde on Sunday, the 15th. Thank goodness, but one more full week to go. It ain't over till it's over. So we're going to talk about how to prepare for that. And some of the stuff that's happening as above, so below. The news has been super busy. No surprise, not only is it Sagittarius season, which is the international sign, but Mercury, planet of communication and alliances and messages, is retrograde in Sagittarius. So the news is just full of world events, France, Syria, so much going on all over the world. The pardoning of Hunter Biden. I mean, it's busy up on that feed. That's all I can say. So we're starting the week really today with a Pisces quarter moon balancing us out. So we are halfway between the Sagittarius new moon on December 1st and the Gemini full moon that's coming up this Sunday, December 15th. And this is a point to reflect. Pisces really is about secrets, illusions. Pisces and Aquarius are two signs that are really kind of like for the people, or things that are hidden, rebel forces, underground. And indeed today, as I record this on Sunday, the Pisces quarter moon, the president of Syria, Bashar Al-Assad, who's a Virgo with a Pisces moon, was overthrown and has fled, I believe, to seek asylum in Russia. I like to read the news and all the different sources, but honestly, astrology does not lie. So I immediately pulled up Al-Assad's chart, and I saw he is a Virgo born on September 11th, 1965, the year of the wood snake, which is going to be, we're going to have a wood snake year next year. So his golden birthday, which is not always easy, it depends. The karmic moment is coming, but he is smack in his Saturn return. He has Saturn at 13 degrees and 27 minutes Pisces. It takes 29 years for Saturn to come back to this. Today, Saturn is at 13 degrees and 26 minutes, off by one hair. He's right in his Saturn return. And if you are abusing your power, if you are not the leader you're supposed to be, and your Saturn return comes around, Saturn rules authority, leadership, well, that's when all those karmic debts that you have accrued, and he has many, have to be paid. So not only is he a Pisces moon getting overthrown at the Pisces quarter moon, but he's overthrown on his exact Saturn return. And, interestingly, I'm looking at the north and south nodes, which are the karmic points in the chart. I know, don't worry, I'm going to get into the holiday prep and all the lighter stuff. I went right into it. What can I say? Mercury retrograde. But I just had to note, we are in the last month of the north node in Aries and the south node in Libra. These are karmic points where our collective karma gets tested and evolved. The nodes are always in opposite zodiac signs. So we have been in a war and peace cycle since 2023, with the nodes being in Aries, the sign of war, and Libra, the sign of peace. So Libra is the south node. So that means it's been more underground. And the north node, the Aries, the warrior, has been out in the open. Doesn't mean that the Libra south node isn't working, but I find that the zodiac sign that is the South Node almost feels like a mute button. The South Node is going to go into Virgo January 12th, 111, 112, depending where you are. And that is Bashar Al-Assad's sign. He's a Virgo. So he is definitely in for some changes. I was also looking at Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and the pardon that has made big headlines. So Hunter Biden has a Pisces North Node. So he is about to go into his North Node return. So even if Daddy pardons you, that does not mean that the planets do. So I don't have any vendetta against him. I just know it's a controversial thing. And at the moment that this is happening, he's stepping into this karmic period for a year and a half in early January. Now, Joe Biden has the opposite. He has a Pisces South Node and a Virgo North Node. So he's going to be going into his North Node opposition. The two of them have a karmic tie between them. If you don't know about the North and South nodes, head over to astrostyle.com. We have a whole section on them. They are fascinating. They're really about your past lives, your karma, the things that you bring in to this lifetime, the lessons you're supposed to learn. And some of those lessons will be learned through the very challenges you face, the very moments where you have to make a decision and you're not sure what the right thing is or isn't to do. So Joe Biden and his son Hunter have opposite North and South nodes. What that means is that one of them has mastered what the other one has come here to learn. So Joe and Hunter Biden came in together to learn something on the Virgo Pisces axis. Pisces being illusions, addictions, Virgo being rules and data and information. That damn laptop. I don't think that story is going to go away even when Biden's presidency ends. In fact, we may just be getting into it a little more, pardon or not. Also wondering how that's going to fare for Virgos like Beyonce. Will she actually go on the tour or will she go underground? There's so much speculation. Diddy, he will be having his North Node return along with Hunter Biden. He's born in 1969. If you're born in 1969, part of 1970, you will be having your North Node return, or 1988, a little bit of 89. You'll have a North Node return as well. So that is what's coming. Now I'm hopping all over the timeline and all over the world, but it's just that kind of week because the Pisces quarter moon is bringing so much out into the open, so much like what is real, what isn't. The tariffs, the billionaires, the pending transfer of power. Will it be peaceful? I don't know that we'll be having peace for the holidays. In fact, I'm fairly certain we will not. And this week, we're really going to be feeling the beginning of something that's going to come to a head on Christmas Eve. And that is the Jupiter-Saturn square. We're moving into that. They are getting close to a 90-degree angle to each other. We had that August 19th, 20th at the Democratic National Convention, interestingly, where Jupiter, the planet of expansion and optimism and hope, was a 90-degree square at odds with Saturn, which is the planet of restriction and boundaries and caution and structure and authority and leadership. So here's Jupiter in Gemini, which we predicted in our 2024 book was going to bring a lot of unexpected international alliances, redrawing of boundaries, allies, that kind of thing. We're seeing a lot of that already going on. We've got Jupiter in Gemini until June of 2025. So we're only halfway through this. So we're going to see that developing this week and coming to a head on Christmas Eve. Because, of course, we can't have a normal year during the year of the dragon, right? Can we have nice things? Can we ever have nice things, planets? I don't know. I think it's humanity's report card. And as we move into 2025, which we've named the year of the divine pendulum, we're going to have a chance to see if we can swing things in a new direction. We're going to have little windows where Saturn and Uranus and Neptune go into new signs, a sneak preview of the rest of the decade. And then they're going to go back to where they are now. So speaking of 2025, if you have not yet gotten your 2025 horoscope book or daily horoscope planner, We have been selling those babies like hotcakes, and we have some special deals. If you're looking for the perfect holiday gift that someone is going to use all year long, get them one of these books because we're going to all need a map. And we have written out an extensive roadmap for every zodiac sign in the year ahead. If you want to see everyone's sign in your life or have the book that you share with your coworkers or your friends or your family, get one of our bundles. They include the big book for all 12 zodiac signs, your choice of one of the daily horoscope planners, and a PDF of the big book, because a lot of people love to keep the digital copy on their phone or on their devices so they can grab it. That big book is 650 pages. You may not want to lug it around with you everywhere, so you can have a handy copy for yourself wherever you are on your devices. And yeah, we have a 40-page trend report at the back this year of all the things to look forward to for the rest of the decade. How are things going to move? Is it as much of a time of change as you think? Oh, yes, it is. Uranus going into Gemini is going to be a huge AI, tech, reshaping the way we live. Pluto, since November 19th of this year, is now on a 19-year run through Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of the people and the democratizing of everything. I was looking at New York Magazine at the Cut and reading all these articles they have about how, relationships are just falling so flat. There's all these videos out, and all of a sudden all these couples are coming out about sleeping in separate beds. Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank has a hilarious clip of how she says she has her own bedroom. Separate bedrooms are the key to the happy marriage. There's a whole thing about living apart together, couples who are happier because they don't share a home, a residence, an address. And then there's the whole co-living, co-housing, golden girls for the age of Aquarius, for the digital age. That is a rising trend. There's this whole TikTok trend happening this week, I think, where I can't remember the words, but one partner confesses something and the other one is like, I am listening patiently, or something along those lines. And I think it's led to as many healing moments as it has probably fights and breakups. I told you I was going to go all over the map on this podcast, but it's just that kind of week. Mercury's retrograde. I'm going to blame the obvious suspect here. We also have a giveaway this week. We teamed up with Pandora Jewelry. They have so many amazing charms and icons and talismans that are zodiac and astrology related, but also very mystical, like the evil eye and the Hamsa and a wishbone and celestial icons. And for me, jewelry is a form of protection. It's a reminder of my own strength and power. So we teamed up with Pandora to give away one copy of our big book, a single zodiac sign planner, and a beautiful gift set from Pandora. You can check out astrostyle.com/Pandora. Go enter the giveaway, US and Canada only. Sorry, guys. And no purchase is necessary. You'll also get a 15% off code for Pandora if you want to shop there too. It's good till December 15th, and the sweepstakes ends on December 11th. So make sure today you head over to astrostyle.com/Pandora and enter, because we would love to send you a book and some awesome jewelry to bring you into the year of the divine pendulum. Let's get back to the week for now. Tuesday, we've got the moon conjunct Chiron in Aries. And on Monday, we've got the moon conjunct the North Node in Aries. A fiery start to the week. Mars retrograde in Leo, Mercury retrograde, and the sun in Sag, and then the moon in Aries. So we can expect a lot of hot-headedness on Monday and Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, we've got the moon in Taurus, and it's squaring Pluto in Aquarius. I would bank on a lot of protests in the first half of the week. And Thursday, Venus, the planet of love, peace, and harmony, the ruler of Libra, which is the South Node's position right now, is opposite Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, our North Node. So Aries, Libra, war and peace. Venus is the ruler of Taurus as well. So those are really, really repeating themes for the week of December 9th through 15th. You don't want the love planets at odds with one another. But when they are, it's an opportunity. So we've got Venus in Aquarius, which is also very idealistic. It's about future. It's about progress. It's about community. And then we've got Mars in Leo, retrograde, ego, fighting, power, drama. So this is not really a great moment for world peace once again. A lot of unsavory behaviors likely to surface with Venus opposite Mars. And let's talk about that on a personal level. So Venus in Aquarius, that's your friends. That's keeping things light, casual, inclusive, fair. And then Mars in Leo, retrograde, very selfish, very dominating, very overbearing. And what about me? You're going to want to check your own selfish impulses. Now, if you haven't been giving your significant other or a special person the attention they deserve and they're feeling a little starved for it, you may need to tell all your friends. Venus in Aquarius can make you into a people pleaser. It can make it hard to say no to your crew and spend that time with that one person. So you might need to tear yourself away for that quality time, even if it means having a difficult conversation. This is the end of Mercury retrograde in Sag, the sign of the truth teller. So this is a week also for those kinds of honest conversations. I'm so not surprised that TikTok trend really burgeoned with Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is about taking risks. So taking the risk of being honest. But please don't leave the compassion behind. If you're not ready to really take total responsibility for what you're being honest for, then you're essentially doing the "I'm sorry you feel that way" type of apology. Don't you hate when people do that? I mean, I can't believe people are still using that. I'm going to rant for a minute, but they are. Don't. Not now, especially not this week. You can say, "I'm sorry if I did anything that might have made you feel that way. I would never want to hurt you." Or, "I'm sorry that I was petty and hurtful and did that to you." And we have an opportunity with Mercury in retrograde this week until Sunday to practice not covering up or shirking responsibility, but really just saying, I did that. I did do that, and that was wrong. How can I make it better? And if you don't have a chance to have that conversation before Sunday, well, the Gemini full moon is a-coming at 2:21 p.m. Eastern. Let's just call it 2:22, round it out to an angel number. We've got the moon and Jupiter conjunct on Saturday. So the moon is our feelings. Jupiter is honesty and magnifies everything. Then on Sunday the 15th, Mercury goes out of retrograde and we have a full moon in Gemini. Pull up a chair, prepare to talk it out. And I hope that we do. I hope that we do get to have some healing, honest conversations before the holidays. Because like I said, Jupiter-Saturn square on Christmas Eve, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa this year. We made it through Thanksgiving without a 2016 rerun. But some of those latent feelings and resentments could come up over this holiday between Christmas and New Year. And on New Year's Eve, there is going to be a Mars-Pluto opposition, which is very contentious, very aggressive, hot-headed, reactionary. So if you have any opportunity to talk things through, even if you need a mediator or a diplomatic person, like book that coach, book that couples therapy session, write it out. One of my favorite techniques that I often recommend at the December Gemini full moon is writing a letter to yourself from the person that hurt you. Because oftentimes a person who hurts you, they just at the moment, at that time, are not able or willing to apologize. But your brain can't always distinguish the difference between an apology coming from them and just reading an apology. It may respond with some healing activities and neurotransmitters and firing of neurons simply by reading the words and imagining the person saying, "I'm sorry." We posted I think it's a little bit dangerous in some ways to imagine this. We posted this AI of Trump doing an ayahuasca ceremony. It was like, imagine if. And it showed him in these very empathic, compassionate settings. And while maybe it's a little dangerous because it actually, my brain started to respond to the image of him as though he actually had done this. Like, I see his humanity. I noticed how powerful that AI scene was. So, hey, maybe you want to have your Mid-Journey or your Chat GPT write the apology letter. You could say, hey, this person hurt me. They did this, this, and that. They ghosted me on my birthday. They left me at the altar, whatever people do. That's such a 80s and 90s thing, whatever the version of that would be today. And I'm having trouble getting past it. Can you write an apology letter to me from them, asking my forgiveness, taking responsibility for hurting me, owning that they weren't ready for the relationship, made you feel like you weren't good enough for me, but actually I never felt like I was good enough for you. Now that's a quote from one I wrote for myself many years ago when I was dating a guy who was 5 years younger than me, and we were both in our 20s. And years later, he called me and he literally said that. He's like, I never thought I was good enough for you. At that time, I was in a phase where that was inconceivable. I thought everyone was too good for me and I wasn't good enough for anyone. Low self-esteem, girls, it happens. And writing that was not only healing and allowed me to release him when I did it after our breakup, but to have him 5-6 years later come back and actually say that with no prompting was pretty miraculous. So you never know how you can heal through one of those types of techniques. I recommend it no matter what. If a coworker pisses you off, if someone gives you the side eye on Zoom or you think they do and you don't know how to process it, hit the Chat GPT, write yourself a note or a letter. I recommend doing it by hand. Also, Gemini rules the hands, Mercury retrograde, old school, and then you don't leave a data trail. Oh, sorry, my Scorpio planets are showing. Whatever. You've got nothing to hide. That's the thing. When you make yourself vulnerable, you really have nothing to hide anymore anyways. And that actually brings me to the perfect moment to tell you that we are doing our annual Cosmic Closure free webinar again. Every year we do the grand finale. We've been doing it since 2020, end of 2020. It's become an annual tradition before we move into the new year to do a free live webinar with you guys just for an hour and some change, just to get together and guide you through the things that you're going to declare cosmic closure on. Because even with the stars guiding us, even with our best intentions, life happens and you don't always get to do the thing that you said you would, or you start doing it and it takes you in another direction or opens up a whole learning curve. But if you're still thinking I said I was going to do that in 2024 and I didn't, that might still be sitting there for you unresolved. So we want to get together to declare cosmic closure on 2024, clear the slate. So we have 2 amazing events for you. Got the Pandora jewelry giveaway, astrostyle.com/Pandora, and Cosmic Closure, astrostyle.com/closure24. I'm going to drop all those links in the show notes for you. So make sure you come, enter the giveaway, get your free seat in our Cosmic Closure on December 27th. It's a Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern, right after Christmas. Hopefully you're going to be able to sit around. We will have a replay for a short while, but come on and be with us and digest whatever came up at Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating or not celebrating. We love being with you guys. So we welcome every opportunity to. So I think that's enough. Speaking of digestion for this week, but keep your cool. Know that people are going to be pushing your buttons. It's a road strewn with opportunities for conflict and equal amounts of opportunities for peace. But you are going to have to create that peace by having some real conversations. So lots of love. Happy full moon week and see you soon.
As always, thanks for listening. You can discover more of your star power at astrocell.com and be sure to follow us on social at AstroTwins. Join us next time for more cosmic fun.